This is The Bottom Line. The Bottom Line on 938 Live.
Having a supportive community or network is crucial for young startups and their development. That's the view of Grace Clapham, a Singapore-based entrepreneur and the founder of marketing and branding agency Agent Grace. Her work in creating communities for female entrepreneurs helped her clinch the Inspirational Leadership Award at the Talent Unleashed Awards. The awards recognize the work done by individuals who have used technology to start up businesses that better the lives of others. Recently, 938 Live's Travis Teo caught up with Ms Clapham and started by asking what are the reasons that prompted her to create entrepreneur communities.
So when I was running the agency, I was looking for communities that I could tap into, that I could learn from, but also, share my own experiences and difficulties. And so from there, the biggest thing was finding a community that was free, because as startups, we usually have very little money. So we don't always have the funds to pay for memberships to join networks. The other was access to funding. And so for that, it was bootstrapping along the way, but it has developed a lot in the last 2 years in Singapore in general. So I think by having the different communities that are now available in Singapore, we are able to get access to mentors and funds as well.
In terms of the networks, instead of joining one, you have actually created one. Is that true?
Yes, so I created a network for women entrepreneurs and change makers. It started in Singapore in 2012, and we're now in 6 cities across the Southeast Asian region.
Right. Can you tell me a bit more about it? Give me some details.
So Secret Women's Business was started by myself and Kemi, and it's a free network to provide tools and resources, workshops, and monthly sessions for women entrepreneurs. And it started with 12 of us, and now we're a community of about 2,500 strong.
Right, I see, Grace. So why is it so important for an entrepreneur to have a network or this community to function within?
I think we need to create new systems in order for you to have connections beyond your own internal group. Communities foster a transfer of knowledge, sharing of information. So I think networks have always been important in business, and they're just as important in entrepreneurship, because as a one-person show, you need to be able to connect and get yourself out there, but you also need the networks to help do the work for you.
Do you feel that for an entrepreneur, the most important aspect of being one is to be part of this network?
I think it's not necessarily the most important. I think many things work in parallel. As entrepreneurs, if you're running your own business with limited funding, so often we get bogged down by the nitty-gritty tasks, but we also need to be able to take a step back and review. So I think being able to look at the bigger picture, but also having networks is important for you to continually be driven and motivated, because it can be a very lonely road and can also be depressing at times.
Right, I see. Can you give an example of how you have tapped on the network of a community to grow your business?
So once you have your network, and the relationships, you better understand who are the people in the community and how can you each help another. So we do bartering, for example. I might say, okay, I'll help you with your marketing or brand strategy, and could you help me with my graphic design or web development? That's a perfect example of how you can make networks work. So it's going, again, on the gift economy or the bartering economy, and that's an example of how I've used our networks.